All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Tiffany. I am the assistant manager for Rocks and Ropes of Tucson, as well as the Block Climbing Fitness. Thanks for joining us. We here at Rocks and Ropes and the Block hope that you guys have been staying as healthy and active and sane as possible, and maybe even hydrated in this exceptional summer. And we are very excited to welcome all of our current members back to both gyms starting Monday, September 7th. So very, very excited for that. That being said, we have all had a break from climbing. And during this break, we actually connected with Dorothy Keane. She is a local climber, an occupational therapist, and a certified hand specialist. And we got to talking about how we could support our community and bring them good information on taking care of your hands, but also the rest of your body as a climber, right? Your elbows, your shoulders are all a part of that. So we decided to design some informational sessions. We're calling them installments. There's kind of informal informational chats, and eventually we'll have a Q&A aspect to it. We want to preface this with, this is general advice from a medical professional, but nonetheless just general advice. If you have a specific need or question, please just reach out to Dorothy directly. Her contact information will be available. Also, please know that we created a brief survey to figure out what our climbing community was interested in, what kind of resources they've already been using, what they've been experiencing, what they want to learn more about. So although we are somewhat flying by the seat of our pants because we are professionals, but not at this, we're not totally flying by the seat of our pants. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Dorothy Keane. Welcome and thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, Tiffany. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I am so excited to get back into the climbing gym. So super looking forward to September 7th.
We're looking forward to everybody being back. To me.
Sure. Okay, so I'll kind of give a little information background of who I am and what I do. So I am an occupational therapist, and I have been doing that for just over 10 years now. But what we do as OTs, we work with people kind of along the lifespan. So from pediatrics to older adults. And for me personally, I've worked in acute care, inpatient rehab, and outpatient rehab settings. And what we do as OTs is we help people get back to their normal activities. So through exercise, modifications, equipment, things like that, to help someone even get dressed or, transfer into the shower, to take the shower, or it could be hobbies, returning back to sewing or woodworking, back to climbing. So things like that. So whatever it is that people need to get back to return to their daily lives, that's what we help them with. So that's me as an OT. And then the other aspect, it's a certification, a specialty that you can go into once you've been practicing, and that's certified hand therapist. And you can either be an OT or a physical therapist to go for this certification. I got that about 5 years ago now. And at the time, when I got the certification, you had to be an OT or PT practicing in the field for 5 years at least. They've recently changed that now. You need to be practicing for at least 3 years. But even with that, you still need 4,000 hours of direct hand care experience, and have that before you can even sit for the board exam. And then you take this really tough exam, and once you pass that, then you get your CHT letters after your name. And so what we do as hand therapists, so that aspect is we learn all, any injuries, diagnoses, and treatment options for anything that happens from the fingertip up to the shoulder. And so that can include tendon injuries, ligament injuries, fractures, lacerations, overuse injuries like carpal tunnel or tennis elbow, amputation. So all of those things encompass around what a certified hand therapist can treat.
Well, I didn't even know that certified hand therapist was a thing. So I'm excited for you to want to share your knowledge. But I'm also wondering how you got into climbing.
Yeah, for sure. So I went through a handful of times, like over the course of 5 years, but nothing regular. And then about a year and a half ago, we decided, I work with a lot of coworkers who are climbers, so we decided to have my birthday party at Rocks and Ropes. And I used a gift certificate that my sister had gotten for my birthday 2 years prior. So finally got to use that with my little paper certificate.
Paper certificate means it's old.
It was old. You guys still took it, so that was great. Thank you. So yeah, so we went as a group, and I just really fell in love with it. It was so much fun. It got me the workout, especially the upper body workout that I wanted, but I hate going to the gym to do. That just bores me personally. So it was fun to have an activity to look forward to that I enjoyed going to. And then the social aspect around it too, developing a group of friends around climbing has been a lot of fun. And also just kind of the positive mental health that it provided me, having something fun to do and focus on. And I also kind of forget about all the other worries or things on my mind when I'm climbing. So I really enjoy that aspect. And so it's been, yeah, just about a year and a half now.
Nice. So you were just able to take your newfound love of climbing and this hobby and your work and just smash them together?
Yeah, I took my two favorite things, hands and climbing. Yeah, so, obviously with COVID, a lot of life changes this year, and I was working in an outpatient hospital clinic, which closed during that time, and just kind of some really stressful work and things that were happening in the meantime. And I really wanted to put my focus into something positive and good, and kind of take those two passions and put them together. And so I started working virtually with climbers with hand or upper extremity, either injuries or maybe some nagging injuries that they've had, to help kind of address what's going on, but also help them return to climbing and hopefully develop those skills for lifelong climbing as well, so that you're not just going back into it and either re-injuring or having those issues get worse and preventing you from being able to climb. So that was really my goal, because especially I understand, how fun and how different people have different reasons for climbing too. And so it's whatever is important to that person. What is your why for climbing? And kind of wrapping around, the programs to address kind of like what your condition is, but also like what your goals are, what's going on in your environments, so things like that. So kind of taking this whole person-centered approach to getting you back to climbing, and being able to do it for lifelong too.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want to say that when we first met and started talking about this, hearing your holistic approach to being able to do things your whole life was so important. It really speaks to me personally, and I know that here at Rocks and Ropes, as well as at the block, we tell people all the time, whether they're brand new or we're just talking to somebody on the phone, climbing is a lifetime activity. It is something that pretty much anybody can do, and we would love to welcome them to do it. And from our youngest climbers on the youngest youth team who are actually here, a bunch of like 6, 7, 8-year-olds climbing right now during team practice, to our members who are here 2 times a week when we're open, and they're like in their 60s and 70s and they climb super regular. It's really important to know your body and approach this in the way that I can do this for a long time if I take care of myself.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, kind of what Tiffany and I have done is trying to put together this series, to help you keep your hands and arms healthy for climbing, and just some kind of general education and knowledge about these structures. And so, we'd send out that survey to figure out what topics were, that people were interested in or felt like they needed to know more. So our first talk of this series is going to be about warming up your hands before climbing, a little bit of information around that. And so I just wanted to kind of leave a little bit of information before we end here, because we're all going to be returning back to climbing soon. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of a reminder, you know, our skin is our largest organ on our body. And I think it's pretty safe to say that's very important for climbing, is having good, you know, healthy skin and taking care of that when we're climbing, especially as we're all going back into it. You know, a lot of us have kind of lost our calluses, or if you're new, you know, starting to build those calluses on your hands. So just, you know, stay hydrated. You know, we're in Tucson, it's hot, our skin is really dry. So make sure you keep your skin nice and hydrated. Also just monitoring your hands, especially those first few weeks back into climbing. Kind of watching for signs of a blister that's forming, either, you know, tape to protect that, or if it looks like it's getting pretty bad and that skin's going to tear, you know, maybe ending your session at that point. Yeah, don't push it. Let your skin heal so that the next session you can start and be able to enjoy. And, you know, your aftercare too, you know, as you're building your calluses, you know, kind of keeping those nice and filed and smooth, and putting on a moisturizer or a balm or something like that to, again, keep your skin hydrated. So just take care of those hands as you return back into climbing so that you can have a lot of fun.
Thanks for reminding us. I'm sure there'll still be a bunch of people who are just so excited to get back that we...
It's too much. We can't wait.
I'm overwhelmed.
Everything is new.
That's all we have for now, everybody, but I hope that everybody is as excited as I am to learn more from Dorothy about how to take care of your hands and your upper extremities. And again, like she said, our first full installment, which will be a lot like this, will be just kind of an introduction and an informational chat beforehand, and then we'll figure out a way to have a short question and answer session afterwards. It's going to be about properly warming up your hands. And we hope to have a date for that in the next couple of days, and that would be maybe in the next 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for that. And thank you again to Dorothy Keane for being here and spending time with me and with our community to help us take care of ourselves. I just want to leave everybody with Dorothy's Instagram, because there's a lot of amazing information and also amazing drawings.
Oh yeah.
That's on her own hand. So if you keep seeing people like A4 pulley and you don't know what that is, you're about to know. If you visit her on Instagram, and her handle is @dkeane, Keane 20. So that's her Instagram handle, and we'll put contact information as well. So that's all we have for now, and we very much look forward to seeing you guys next time. And certainly, last but not least, thank you, Dorothy. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See y'all later.